Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a layout share, and there will be some layouts missing. I filmed a layout share last week, and as per my luck, all this week, that video didn't, that video was corrupted and wouldn't upload. I've had a few successful uploads, but this week, I think a few successful uploads since I got my Apple Watch. I believe that's the case. But, and I think there's a Bluetooth issue with my Apple Watch communicating with my phone on things like my watch face and so forth. So I'm doing this as a test. I'm not wearing my watch. You can see it's not there. And it's in another room on the charger, and has to go through tile walls to get here. So I know that affects Wi-Fi. I don't know if it affects Bluetooth. Anyway, I'm going to film this and hope it uploads. This is a layout for Scrap Squad Sunday, and the original was this rainbow, kind of cut out rainbow pieces. So I printed a large photo of the Rolling Stones logo with the tongue and the lips, and I cut it out into rainbow shape, included a couple photos of my son and me at the concert, and a couple of rainbows just as a nod to the original. Had a great, wonderful time. And this is an XL flare from Dottie About Flare, this right here. And then these two are Abstract, I believe is the name of that set. And it's one of my favorite sets ever. This is one of my design team layouts for my creative scrapbook. And it's using the Busy Sidewalks collection from Crate Paper, and I absolutely love that collection. I did here, I tore some paper to kind of look like snow drifts, and there's a couple of them are snowflake printed, so it's kind of a nod to that anyway. And use some of the houses and the taxi and some things to create a little street scene. She's bringing home the presents, he's bringing home the tree. We have a squirrel over here listening to headphones or with earmuffs on, I'm not quite sure. And this is an old picture that's not a very good photo of probably the largest Christmas tree that we ever had. We had a 2-story ceiling in our dining room, and the biggest front window to the house was kind of right over here in the dining room. So we basically moved the table to where it almost couldn't be used to fit this huge tree. But it was gorgeous. And sadly, I didn't get a very good photo of it. So I ran it through a watercolor filter, and it kind of shows that the light's coming in from here, and it shows some of the colors, and I can recognize some of the ornaments there. So I like that photo, and I like the page. This is a scrap backwards layout that I did. It's kind of, the background's kind of pieced together, and it's the third week of my Scrap Backwards kit for November. And as you know, we're using the first, well, you may not know, we're using for the Scrap Backwards kit, we're using an I Am sticker sheet from Simple Stories. And it's a fairly girly kind of collection. So my challenge for this particular week was to do a boy page. And I found a picture of Barrett where he's wearing floral swim trunks, and so I figured that the florals wouldn't look out of place there, but then I picked up on the blue and yellow colors in his suit while adding in some of the pinks and teals. So this used up quite a lot of my kit, and the papers are all Obed Marshall, and of course I've got a bee flare and a rainbow flare for, and then I've got a kind of a little teal flare in here that kind of picks up on the motorcycle color. This one is one from the retreat that I went to in September that I finally finished. I actually made everything, the entire page, but I didn't have a photo, and I knew the photo I wanted to use, but the colors weren't quite right once I looked at the photo. That's kind of a purple top that I have on, and his the red in his Hawaiian shirt wasn't exactly compatible with this red. So I filtered it a few times and got the colors and effects that I wanted. But I love this page. I love that photo. We had planned a Greek cruise in 2011, had it all booked, we're ready to leave, and John was outside playing soccer with Allie and Ava, and he stepped in a hole in the yard and just stepped on it funny, and it broke his ankle very seriously. He had to have surgery and pins installed and so forth. So the cruise was out then, but in 2012, the following August, we rebooked the cruise, and they were sailing across on the week of our anniversary. So we got to celebrate our anniversary, and we were just so excited. His ankle had healed well, and we're all packed. We got huge new luggage for the cruise. We hadn't been on a cruise, and so had no idea how to pack. I don't think we've used those huge suitcases since then. James uses one of them for his business trips, but we decided we didn't want to handle that large luggage. And I've got my camera case here, which is bigger than most people's luggage, and we're both carrying our CPAP machines and a gym bag full of shoes. We had no idea how to pack, but we were just like kids off on a big adventure, and that it was. This is a page I did lifting Laura Sormani Donovan. This is her original page with black swatches of paint, and then some colorful butterflies stamped on colorful paper, and then kind of color matched embellishments. So I didn't do the black. I actually looked for some black paint to do it just like this, but I decided just to go ahead and do swaths of Distress Oxides in the colors of my butterflies, and I kind of spritzed to get them to sort of blend in an ombre effect there, and then I used color matched embellishments. So this one was fun, and that's one of my favorite photos. It's a photo John took when we were in Paris in 2001, when we were living in Brussels and traveling to Paris quite often. And I actually love my little black and white striped flare that looks oh so Parisian. This is a just for fun lift of Karen Groves page. I absolutely fell in love with her Halloween page. To be honest, I don't know that I had planned to do a Halloween page. There are a lot of things about the holidays that don't seem quite right this year. So we'll just leave it at that. And so I don't know that I felt like doing one, but I saw this and thought, okay, I can do that. And I found an old photo of myself all decked out with my witch's hat, and I'm wearing a table runner around my neck as a shawl. There's a pumpkin that Katie painted that looks like a spider web, and there's a green spider on top of it. I love the setup that we used to do at the front door on Halloween, and kind of miss that. So maybe I'll take a roll in trying to do that again. I also found in my Halloween supplies this big pumpkin, so I cut it in half so that I could make it a big tall one. And I did a couple flares as the O's, which was the thing I thought was so cute about hers. I used googly eyes and stars on on mine. And I had to throw in, I had just fussy cut a bunch of these flowers, and I decided I wanted to throw them in because they kind of look Halloween-ish, right? This is another design team layout for my creative scrapbook, and I used this sketch, which is a vertical sketch with some stuff out to the side, and then a large cluster out to the side, and then a small cluster here. I actually turned it on its side and did it with the large cluster here and and as much other stuff as I wanted because that's how I roll. This is the Busy Sidewalks collection, and I saw these snow angels in the sticker sheet, and I thought, okay, well, and I wanted to do this. This is the city square in Copenhagen, and we were there for Christmas in 2001, and it was icy and snowy, and yet there was an outdoor concert and a million people out walking around, just really truly busy sidewalks in weather that little southern girl that I am, you wouldn't go outside. But it was wonderful. And I have the cup of, I think this is hot chocolate. Here in Copenhagen, we were drinking Gluck, and it was absolutely wonderful. And I can imagine that every Christmas season, at least someone, even if it's crazy American tourists, lie down in the square and make snow angels and get photos. So that's why I put them there. So, okay, let me put that there. This one is a Mixed Media Frenzy, and the original is this kind of monochromatic blue. I kind of played off on the red in Katie's shirt and used red distress inks in different tones of red, and a splattering technique that went astray, but I love it. And a lot, I think everything, all the papers and embellishments are from Fernwood by Vicki Boutin. And I mean, I just can't tell you how much I love that collection. And this page, in fact, because it just shows the fun, the goofiness of the girls. I used a couple different sequin mixes, including a sequin mix called Rusted Fence, I think, that has these maple leaf sequins, and they're gorgeous. And I used 3 different kind of October collection or October release flares from Dottie About Flair. And one of my favorite embellishments in the collection are these that have the vellum butterflies and dragonflies in there, and just the mushrooms. And she's brought back the tennis shoes from Let's Wander, only this time they're kind of grayish black. I love this collection, and therefore I love this page. This one is kind of a goofy one. It's it was my challenge. It was titled Kathy's Recipe for Disaster. It was to get people using their random embellishments that they don't often use, or that they're maybe a little bit uncomfortable using. So the recipe was to use avocados, hedgehogs, rainbows, mixed media, and florals. And so I took a piece of dotted paper from a Mind to Scrap kit, the Mind to Scrap October kit. And I used, I think, 20 some odd different stamps to stamp around and over top of and you know, side by side with and in between some of these dots. And then I used 20 some odd flares kind of around, including an avocado flare, a hedgehog flare, there's a rainbow flare, and of course I've got florals, but I think somewhere on here I have a floral flare. Anyway, it was great fun doing it, and then I used 21 different sequin mixes to get the colors that I wanted going around. So this one was fun. Took hours to do, but lots of fun. Okay, and on the video that I made for this, you don't have to watch me put every little sequin on. I think I put everything but the sequins in the video. This one is a Scrap Squad Sunday using the Mind to Scrap October kit. And I'm using also a title and these perspective little dots and circles from Bramble Fox, and there's some acorns and leaves from Bramble Fox, including I have a leaf on top of a flare there, and I just had a wonderful time with this. This photo was from the same little photo shoot as the Mixed Media Frenzy one that I did. And I love it. I've got a ladybug for Katie and an alligator for Alligator. And I've got, I used the little owl flare because its colors were just perfect for this butterfly. So that was another fun page to do. This one was done in my first unsuccessful video of this week. I tried to video this on Monday. It is a scrap backwards layout, and the theme for this one was circles, and you had to use at least one 3D circle, or didn't have to, but you know, that was the challenge that Adam and I set for ourselves. And so I filmed this, and then 3 days and countless hours of attempts to upload it. And the 38-minute video actually translated to almost 4 hours, 3 hours and 49 minutes, I think, on YouTube. So it's all been deleted and removed from storage, and it'll never see the light of day because I tried just too darn hard for it. But this one used lots of stickers from the I Am sheet, as well as chipboard from another sheet that I had pulled in, and a lot of the same papers that you've seen used in previous papers from my kit. This one is my final design team layout, or guest design layout for my creative scrapbook. And for this one, I drew a triangle with a pencil and then was going to do embellishments all around it, you know. But before I did the embellishments, I fussy cut the photo. I was going to use just a square photo over here, but then I decided to print them larger and in scale with some of the embellishments. And I fussy cut the real cookies. There's a I'm looking at this cat here. There's a stocking right here. There's a wreath there with white sprinkles and red berries. And there's another wreath here that has sprigs of rosemary and crystal sugar. There's a candy cane there, an ugly sweater here with a sweater there. Then I did a tree here, and that has basil and oregano and sprinkles and crystal sugar, and I think those are all the real cookies. And then everything else is either fussy cut or stickers. I made a pot for the base of the tree, and a presents in the foreground, and then I used stickers from the sticker sheet for the cityscape. In the background, I have a lady skiing through the city, and a reindeer running through the city, and a squirrel sledding through the city. So, and a crazy cat here, and another one in a stocking there, and there's another squirrel. Just a lot of fun on the page. And to me, this page represents, this was for me kind of an expression of my best recent Christmas memory. This was from 2018 when we made these cookies and just had such a blast baking them and then decorating them. And there were lots more cookies. These were just a few that I picked out. 2019, we had no Christmas because Ava was in the hospital fighting leukemia, and she won. And then 2019, we had no Christmas, or 2020, we had no Christmas because John was in the hospital, and it was, you know, everything was turned upside down for those 2 years. So this is actually, to me, the last real Christmas that I remember, that I probably will ever remember. Okay, let's stop all this. I have straightened the title on this page. This is today's Mixed Media Frenzy. And I made a 31-minute video for this. Did all of this. This was a white piece of cardstock. Did all this stamping and stenciling and smudging and brushing on this page, and added all this junk to it in 31 minutes. Again, it refused to upload, and I got a message that said unable to prepare this video for transfer. So this was the original. It's a vintage layout by Olga Bielska, and it's absolutely fascinating to me. There's all the kind of underlying stamping and the dripping and just all these things that were interesting to me. So I pulled as much stuff as I had that could kind of pick up on that theme, and I went to town with it. And I wish the video had survived, because I myself would like to go back and review kind of the order in which I did these things. I think that needs to be glued down because it keeps bending. This is a it is a piece of barbed wire. It's die-cut barbed wire from a Bramble Fox die set. And in that same die set is this kind of fence sort of die, and it's very thin. I use that under a lot of the layers, whereas I put the here we go. I put the barbed wire on top. And I've done die-cut gears out of metallic paper. I've altered a lot of wood veneer with inks. I've layered lots of things on top of shiny, glittery metallic flare. I've got some stars cut out of, that's also a Bramble Fox die, cut out of paper that I intended to use this side of the paper, but I loved the sheet music on the other side, and it kind of looked vintagey to me. And I have a sticker and the title from a sticker sheet. It's from a Western collection called Cowboy Country by Carta Bella. And the gears are die cut from Real Genius, I think, from Photoplay. And this sheet of paper this is the front and back of a My Mind's Eye 2006 vintage paper. These photo corners are Tim Holtz. These metallic pieces, the locks, the hearts, I'm pretty sure most of those are Tim Holtz. I bought them a long time ago. There's some wood veneer pieces here that I altered. Let's see, there's the horse and the longhorn, because this was in Texas. This was taken, we were in costumes for a Texas Independence Day celebration back in 1983. So it's been a while. And then I found this little brad that I kind of liked. And I outlined this, and I think it shows up nicely. So I'm going to kind of outline this and then smudge it a bit. Kind of like that. And this is not going to see the light of day because I've already photographed it for Instagram and Facebook. But it'll be that way in my album. And this has to go over several different okay, there. And my favorite thing on here, well, first of all, I guess I love the barbed wire, but I love this wood veneer piece that has a star cut out of it, and I stamped on it and used different inks. I brushed inks and rubbed inks onto there, and I just love it. And this little tiny pink wood butterfly that kind of picks up on the pinks in there, and the notebook paper and so forth. So this is probably one of my favorite pages I've done in a while, and it's very different for me, and that's possibly what I like about it. So thanks for watching. I hope this video works, and if it does, that may prove that it was the Apple Watch that caused the problems, the communication between the Apple Watch and my phone for such things as my watch face and so forth. So that's just a guess. No idea. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.